to like a interesting or different start. Normally I meet someone for coffee before this. I didn't. So first of all, I missed my turn, which downtown construction, even downtown, if at its finest. So
don't even get me started.
I know, that was me too. So I was like already super tardy, and then I'm like, but I don't have my coffee. And then, you know, so we're already late. I'm like, I'm gonna go grab us coffees. And then we got in a little trouble because we're not supposed to have they're supposed to
have coffee.
Well, spill proof.
Yeah.
It's just I know that sometimes I've come from coffee with one of these with me. That's why I kind of thought,
okay, so was that the rule? It has to be in like in a spill-proof container?
Yeah.
Was that her issue? Okay.
I think that was the word she used, was spill-proof.
Okay. Yeah. Well, now we know.
Yeah, now we know. So anyways, breaking some rules here. And
I'm a rule breaker.
Yeah, that's my girl. And then, but yeah, just off to like a bit of a different start for me. I feel a little discombobulated, but I'm going to be okay with it.
Just need to take a breath. Everything's cool. You're in a safe space.
Thanks. Yeah, the door's locked and everything, except the beverage patrol. She does have a key, and she came in and she brought this. They're supposed to be in our spill-proof container. So, and I don't think they're supposed to be near the equipment. So let's hope that Michelle and I.
Maybe
that's
put it in there.
Hot, Michelle. Do you want me to put it in there?
Sure.
Okay. Oh my God, such a rule breaker. Clearly.
I'm such a rule breaker.
Put it in the container. That is, honestly, though, that is lava. You'll probably be able to drink it for the next episode.
Okay, yeah. That's cool.
I also really enjoy your shirt.
Oh, yes.
Oh my goodness, we're both actually, I kind of feel like I'm wearing kind of a fun one too.
Oh my gosh.
Unintentional, guys.
See, like this is the vibe that we have.
This is the vibe, guys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
Anyways,
sure.
So welcome to, the next episode. We won't get into that for the audience, but this is our next episode.
Our next episode.
Yeah. Anyway, so I told Michelle I was just going to let it rip because I have a few things that kind of have been building for housekeeping. We haven't talked about LPMs yet.
LPMs.
Okay, so this has been an interesting study, like having a podcast. I think it's been really good. I would liken it to like Toastmasters, but different.
Right.
Like, you know... So it's been a bit of an evolution. I think that evolution will for sure be continuing as we go. But one of the things I've noticed a real weakness, I like some LPMs, but a weakness for myself has been what my oldest brother Zabar, dubbed about 20-something years ago. I don't know what I was talking about, but after he was like, whoa, your LPMs were way up on that one. And that's my likes per minute, people.
Per minute?
So I'm really trying to curb my LPMs. I'm sure there's going to be little pockets where I get quite passionate, and I'll work on that. So, and even Michelle had put a couple episodes through ChatGPT, and
yes,
it was a thing.
It was. So I remember when I did Toastmasters when I was younger, we would all have our assignments, and one of the assignments was somebody had to count the ums and ahs. And I think we put likes in there too.
Well, and depending on the era, because didn't really... Ums and ahs would, I think, be traditional with public speaking or something of this nature, all of time, whereas likes, that's a little more 21st century.
Yeah, I think that's definitely an 80s thing. I don't think our
forefathers dealt with that.
I'm going to blame the Valley Girls.
Yes, Valley Girl, absolutely, all the way. Anyway, so...
And it's funny, too, when I hear you starting with the likes, I feel like my LPMs kind of go up.
Yeah, we enable each other.
We do.
Yeah, enablers. So anyway, so that was just something that Michelle and I have talked about off air that I wanted to address, and from here to forth shall be referred to as LPMs. We also, next I have, I wanted to talk, so... First of all, beautiful day outside. Thank goodness. So when I was driving around for 15 minutes downtown, it was lovely. But maybe more pedestrians and such. So maybe I strike that. Anyway, but we are in what I would say. I wanted to talk to Michelle a bit about our spring market.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So it's interesting because I sort of feel like, we've both been in the business a long time. And I think when we first started... spring market was very much, not January, not February, maybe sort of starting in March, but April, May, June. So, but I would say in the last decade for sure, new year, new market. It starts to build. Last year was really ground running in January because we had really low inventory.
Yeah, for sure.
But then the market stopped really early in my mind. Our spring market started and then it just kind of fizzled out. And I would say I almost kind of feel like there's been a year, kind of where it sort of stopped, which I think was kind of in April or right around this time.
Yeah, I think
maybe into May, but it did end early because May should be, in my mind, May is a gangbusters month typically. But we've had a real sort of, just slow and steady uptick this year. And I kind of wonder if we're having an OG spring market.
Well, see, and I find that in the last few years, January 2nd, let's go. Everybody was the phone was ringing off the hook. Mm-hmm. It was busy.
Yep.
And you're right. This year has been different. I think last year, I have my theory on that is because of the elections.
Yes.
We talked about this before about how.
Yes, totally. There were things starting around this time last year, there's just more uncertainty in the marketplace, and I'm talking locally, Edmonton, provincially, nationally, and internationally. Literally across the board, right? So, but I do think what I've always noticed happens in those situations is as time goes on, people are okay, and they sort of start falling back into their normal routines.
Right.
But I find at the beginning of any uncertain period in time, you definitely see the foot come off the gas in terms of real estate anyway, for sure.
Yes,
so, and I think now that we've kind of come basically a year, and I feel like we're having an OG spring. So I'm hoping this year just kind of keeps, I'd love to see that.
And this is the thing, an OG spring, an actual spring. Right?
I know.
Because sometimes it's you have the spring market happening in January, February where it's I'm not ready for this.
I know. It's so weird. And then you kind of get to spring and it's all right.
Doo-doo-doo.
That's in your rearview mirror, right?
Well, and the other thing too that I always think has an effect is the Oilers. I'm sorry, but it slows down when it's that playoff time. But it's weird because now it's all kind of coming together because we have the warmer weather.
Yes.
I think people are kind of getting used to all the upheaval that's happening in the world.
Yes.
So it's okay, life still needs to move on. Mm-hmm. We still need to get things done. We still need to accomplish what we want to accomplish this year. So I've definitely been getting busier in the last couple of weeks for sure.
Nice. I feel my business has been building throughout the year, but there's been some decent turnover. I can't complain, but it's been irons in the fire, things in the pipeline, and it's okay, I'm almost which is, it's a great problem to have, but it's you're kind of oh, how's this going to shake out? Because it's usually all at once, and and not even all at once real estate. You're trying to live other it's you're I take one vacation a year. This is all happening now, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So So anyway, so I just wanted to speak a bit to the OG spring market, but
Mm-hmm. It's always good when things start to bounce back, when it's a little stagnant compared to previous years. You're okay, what's happening? And I always find that real estate is one of the first markers.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
To kind of
show how everybody's reacting to things.
Finger on the pulse, if you may.
Yes. And then what was kind of weird was that this year, I started off doing some commercial deals. And that commercial market, beast. I know it's different, but it was so. It's usually a little bit slower, right? Things take a little bit longer to sell, but it was weird how almost everything, the same problems that I would have in a really hot market where you would call, and things would be pending already, or just getting an offer, or you're writing on something, and then another offer comes in, and you're doing a multiple offer. You don't really expect that in commercial, but that was happening to us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think that's a really good sign.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like that.
So I was always a little bit hopeful because
Take
of
that
that.
to the bank.
Yes.
I think. I hope. That is, to me, the commercial is a stronger indicator almost, because residential, it's like, kind of doesn't matter what the economy's doing, people do need somewhere to live, and maybe the transaction is because, oh, I'm taking a step back in what my real estate is, like, so it's not necessarily for like a positive, like, yay, we're moving up in the market, but commercial, I would say, is different. You know what I mean? That is a little more economy based versus just like necessity of life based.
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay,
definitely.
good.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, folks. So I'm feeling good.
Yeah?
Yeah. It could just be the gorgeous weather. Like, I am telling you that it makes such a difference.
It's amazing how much that has an effect on your mood.
Huge. For me, anyway.
At least here in Edmonton.
Yeah.
I know, like, one of the things people say is like, oh, you really shouldn't talk about the weather. It's kind of like a lame
topic.
A lame small talk.
They clearly
haven't
had to deal with what we've had to deal with.
They obviously don't live in Edmonton.
Yeah. It's like a rich person being like, money doesn't solve your problems. I'm like, watch me. Anyway, so I just have like a whole list on my phone.
Okay, let's go.
So another one I have is, we've talked about this before. It was probably my OG pet peeve, where I feel like agents won't give a property enough, like, give it an opportunity on the market.
Yeah.
So I just had another example of this. So another agent I follow on social media, she'd posted about this property in my neighborhood. It's kind of a street I knew kind of exactly what the product was going to be, and she'd had a video on it and stuff. And she's like, hitting the market this weekend or whatever, and
yeah.
And so I was like, oh cool, I know that's gonna pop for my client's search. Like, he is out of town right now, so fine. Not to say that that's neither here nor there. Like, what if he wasn't? Or anyways, and so sure enough, I see like in her stories on the weekend, like, this one didn't even hit the MLS, and I'm like, wow. Is that a good thing? Because I was going to send that to my buyer, but I guess I won't now.
Right? Is that something to brag about? Like,
thank you. I think that is my thing. I'm like, cool. Like, so I would say, basically, when you're in that dynamic, there's maybe going to be a little hype for the buyer who's buying it, like, hey, you know what, you're here, ground floor, like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming I don't think she sold it from her social media, but maybe was doing an open house.
Right. Do you think she double-ended it?
Do you know what? So I wanted to see what was what? Not even on the MLS. So
there's no way that you can.
So I'm going to say almost guaranteed, actually, then.
Don't you think?
Because if you were the other agent, would you, I mean, you could have, you're just sort of, I don't want to get into like semantics with paperwork and stuff. Like,
but wouldn't you want, even if you double-ended it, even if it didn't hit the MLS, wouldn't you want to just put it on there, just to track numbers?
Yeah. This agent, maybe not. I know what you're saying, and I think some agents would, but almost then it makes me think, is it like, are we being no, I mean, I actually quite like this agent, so it's interesting, but like, I don't know. So I guess what I was going to say is, I feel like, so for the buyer, there's maybe this like, hey, it's not been properly introduced to the market, which I think is like important.
Yes.
So is there the chance, for sure in history, buyers have actually maybe overpaid, because maybe it would hit the market, no one wants it, now they're able to get like a little bit off list or something.
Right.
But I would say 90+% of the time, in this market right now, anyways, let's say, I just don't know. It was like a nice bungalow, like I think 1.1 million, nice part of town. Like, I'm like, I think there's a market for, like, it just would have been interesting to see if it got to set sale, what would have happened.
Yeah.
And so again, my pet peeve strikes again. Like, I see it all the time, and I'm just kind of like, is this really serving your seller? Now, at the end of the day, it's your client's legal instruction. So if they're happy with that, but yes, I would suspect it was, I don't know. And that's the thing. I don't know. I mean, I guess I can track land titles, see what it's sold for, but I'll never know the other agent on like who represent. Like it's just it's interesting. So that came up, and I think our listeners need to know why it's a pet peeve of mine, because I see it all the time, and I'm like, is this like cricket? I'm not sure. So
okay. So how much do you like semi-stock like deals or?
Oh, I'm a stalker.
Yeah.
All
because
the
like
time.
you could go back, or not even go back, but wait a while, check land titles, see what happened there.
I've done that.
Or,
yeah. And now we have so for the listener, land titles, we can log on and purchase like a title and see what the transfer was. They can hide it sometimes. I think they pay a fee for that. But typically you buy the title, you're going to see. You have to wait until it's transferred over to the new owner. But now that new like tax toggle on our Paragon, it does often show the transfers as well on there, which is really nice. So I can stock for free, which is exciting.
Rather than like $10 a pop.
Yeah, like rather than paying to be a stalker. But this is like market research, people. Plus, it is so wild how sometimes it's such a small world. Like, that's the thing. It's like, I've done numerous deals with this agent. Like, she and I work in similar markets. Like, so it's just kind of crazy, how small of a world it is, and how intertwined things can be sometimes.
Well, and I think that's, just kind of going on to that as a pet peeve. I don't like it when things are not on the MLS. Just even for research and market knowledge, right? Because sometimes you're going into a listing, right? You're talking with the sellers. They know what's been happening in the neighborhood.
Well, especially that street. They're like, it's single family ownership, but probably with an HOA, and they're like bungalows is what I would call them.
Yeah. So they know, and neighbors talk.
Oh yeah, the neighbors know, especially in those intimate type areas. Yeah.
And sometimes it's nice to be able to confirm, right?
Well, and that's the thing.
One way or the other.
Talk like sometimes it isn't always accurate, because it's a little bit like playing the telephone game, but it's a little bit like, land titles doesn't lie, but Betsy up the street, who knows, right? Like, so you kind of have to, because there's just so many things that can happen, because who knows, like maybe someone's like, oh, they got this for their house, but then, they ended up negotiating this offer. We don't know other semantics to the deal, right? So when agents do that, and then it doesn't go on our system, it does sort of, it leaves some gaps or some holes. Yeah. So anyway, and then I think a lot of agents want sort of, we have a lot of awards or, I guess, different brackets we can hit as realtors for production and stuff. So a lot of times, just a lot of times, so they like the sales being recorded as well. But I could see, again, I know this agent, and I don't think that that's what she's about, and she does enough business. But it was funny, because I literally was like, oh, when that comes up, I'm going to have to send it to my guy. And then sure enough, I'm like, on her.
Like, oops.
I'm on her. It was funny, because I actually even think I remember like being like, oh, that hasn't come up yet. And then literally I'm like on social media, like, half a day later, and I was like, So, but that's, it's interesting, and I don't know. I do like nerding out, and just like kind of just like being aware of all that stuff. To me, that's kind of fun.
Well, you know what it is, actually?
What?
Your job.
Oh. Yay.
It's your job.
Yeah.
Right?
No, and I like being good at my job. That's what that is. I'm not a stalker.
I'm not stalking. I'm not being nosy.
This is business.
This is part of my job.
Exactly. Yeah. Just trying to be professional, everyone. So anyway, so that was another talking point. Let's just pull the old telephone up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we talked a little bit about, just when we're staying on pet peeves, I feel like I need to, pet peeves is already like a cute name, but I want to be real positive, so I don't know what we can rename it. But I just wanted to like, just riff a bit about acreages, because I don't know, like they're just, like, can I get an RPR, people? No, you are
gosh.
never in this market in a million years.
No.
And actually, you know what? Maybe we don't even need to, like, all I was going to say.
Maybe you don't want one.
Well, but that's why you're not getting one. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of people also don't understand that. They're like, what? I sold my place in the city and you made me get an RPR with compliance, which we will talk about, I think, because I would love to look through my listings this year, and I think all of them I've provided an RPR with compliance. Once or twice, maybe not current. It's like, oh, we added this fence, or we...
Right.
But it's like, that is still way better than title insurance. But
Okay,
no
so-
agents right now are doing
Yeah,
that.
there's definitely been a shift. Definitely
Well,
been
but
a
it's
shift.
like, I'm out there making my clients do, like, I don't know, where are you? Your title insurance. I can tell by the look on your face. And we should probably explain title insurance.
Yeah, let's explain.
If you can. Title insurance versus RPR,
RPR.
with compliance.
So RPR stands for Real Property Report. So that's typically when a surveyor comes, measures all the structures that can't be moved. So it's not measuring and outlining where the mobile shed is, right?
It's not measuring
or the
fire
kiddie
pit
pool.
typically. Or,
Yeah.
Yeah, like it would have to be a serious...
It had to be a serious structure, or a deck if it's less than
2 feet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So your garage, your fence, if you have any type of retaining wall in the front.
Yeah.
Right,
Any
and
sort of
obviously the
decks that are
house.
over 2 feet.
Yeah.
Usually your front entry, like it's like, oh, if it's like more than 3 steps, you need a railing, like details
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that will be on the RPR, and it's just a simple diagram, right?
Well, it's a survey.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a survey, so it just shows up
A land
as a
survey.
Yeah,
Yeah.
as a diagram, right? And then that gets sent to the city,
Or municipality, wherever you happen
right?
to be. Yeah.
Right, where they will go and make sure that all the structures that are there, all the fences and everything, are in line with their bylaws
And permitted.
and permitted as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So if you've done a lot, and current RPRs are if you've done no changes to it, right? You can have an RPR that is like 20 years, 30 years old. If you
I
haven't
think
made
some lawyers
any,
get a little fussed about after a certain time. But let's say
I
you
haven't seen that. But yeah.
Yeah, like, I think if you were like, I feel like I have recently, and I think there was a little, I can't remember, but let's just say you have one from 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's current.
Like there's no
You're good
changes
go.
to it.
Yeah, like you haven't changed your deck, you haven't changed your fences, you haven't attached, like everything, you haven't done any changes of that nature. That's good.
Yeah.
That works.
Yeah. But often what we're finding, and why people are tending to shy away from it, is that it could be expensive and it could be extremely time consuming.
Okay, let's just calm down about both of those. Expensive.
Yeah, well, getting the survey to come out,
Yeah.
that's probably about like $500, $600 now.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's a geodetic, everybody. Woo, woo. Do you use geodetic?
Yes.
Oh, I love geodetic.
Yeah.
Like, if you're like going to PALS or Stantec, you're paying like pretty much close to $1,000 for the survey. And then it has to go to your municipality, and they're about $150.
Yep.
Yeah. So you're looking at like, let's say $750. And that's without a rush. So like a lot of people don't know, hey,
Yeah.
I'm selling, like you would have to order that, so if you throw some rush on that, like it can be closer to $1,000. But if not, you're offering title insurance, which is like, let's say it's going to be $350 to the buyer,
Right.
approximately. So you already are spending money, like, and let's say you actually do have the time. So you're spending $700 versus $350 to provide the gold standard, because there are buyers that don't like. How do your buyers feel when someone's like, here's title insurance again? Like,
Well, okay.
I don't know, I wish there was some honor amongst realtors.
Okay,
Like,
so for me,
they're gonna take my RPRs with compliance all day long, but what do I get when I sell their properties? Title insurance.
You know why I have an issue with it? Because I just think it's a cash cow.
Yeah, but that fair. Yeah, of course. Let's like talk about the government,
Especially
having
like
cash
with the
cows,
city,
like-
yeah, with the city,
It's a whole
because
new podcast.
totally. And I have an older house, and I deal with people that have older homes, right? So sometimes you're going to have stuff that the city doesn't necessarily need to know about.
See,
right, but like these homes are over a century, or they're old.
I know. So I get it. I guess what I sort of think
and most of the time, the city just turns a blind eye to it anyways, right? Because they say, it's not, they got their money, or they're making you go and get a permit for something that never had a permit in the first place.
A retro permit. So now your $250 deck permit is $500.
Yeah. For something that's been sitting there forever.
Yeah.
Right? And I had another point about that.
Well, I was just going to say, like, it's not all single-family dwellings in the city of Edmonton are alike. Like, I think you raise a good point. Like, has this property been up for 100 years? And, like, now, for the listener as well, there's non-conforming. So, like, let's say...
That was my point,
back in the day, you could have... Of course it was. So,
it's like non-conforming.
No, but you could have... So, like, the rules and regulations were different. And you could, for example, build your garage much closer to a property line than you could now. So let's say I'm buying a house, from like 1950s, and they have one of those old garages, and you get an RPR and it comes back with compliance, but like the garage is non-conforming. That goes through with the lawyers. That is fine. But they're saying to a new buyer, like, hey, if you alter this structure, like, if you're not allowed to like alter it in a sense of like you can put shingles on or whatever, but if you're going to extend it or whatever, or rebuild it, it has to meet current code.
Yeah.
So, but I once had, and this was in Ramsey Height, Radigan Ridge, whatever, in Zone 14. So, like, I'm going to say 1980s. And there was, like, this underground utility line. It ended up being, like, a real situation. And it came up on the RPR. And we got an RPR when we were buying. So we kind of were able to deal with it. And I don't know exactly what the lawyers did. And then when I listed that house, I was like, here you go. You're accepting this. Like,
right.
And, thank God the market was super hot and people were like climbing over. Like, but I'm like, but title insurance, you'd never know about this like underground utility line. I'm just saying.
So like, how is it detected in the survey though, if it was an underground utility line?
Because I think when you send it to the city, they know where their like lines are, and the house was actually over part of one of them. But there's going to be other houses in that neighborhood that fall. Like, I'm just saying, 9 times out of 10, you take title insurance. Yeah, okay, maybe like the deck didn't have a permit or something really innocuous. But there are times, like I remember I had some friends and they had a house in like Hardy Point, like in the newer West End. The builder actually put the house in the wrong spot. Like it did sit, and so it's a newer home and it sat too close to the property line. I don't know legally what the builder and the city and that owner, but I'm just saying when that house gets sold, title insurance, now they would know about it, but I'm just saying, like, there are things. RPR with compliance is the gold standard. Agents, if you're listening, like, I implore you to get it, because it makes your home more sellable. I don't think people understand that too, because I just had one and there was a lot going on the outside. Like, they had a huge deck, built-in hot tub. They had sort of like a countertop around the edge of it that had built-in barbecue, fridge, like prep space. They had like a cover over where the hot tub was.
Right.
They had, even on the side of their house they did, because they had some storage. They had this like kind of wall up the one side, like it was built off the deck. It was just sort of more material with screens for privacy. There was just a lot going on in that property. And I said to them, let's get an RPR with compliance, like, because they felt confident that everything was done by the books. I'm like, great, let's do it, because I think a lot of people are going to see this and be like, and so, like, it was a real, like, I think it was a smart move. We even paid Rush on the RPR and with the municipality. So, so.
Well, I would say that it's definitely the seller's choice. There are, and I think it definitely depends on the house too.
Yeah.
Because, it may be something that's that extravagant or elaborate that has a lot of those different
A
things.
lot of moving parts.
Especially, and especially if the seller is not sure if those structures have been permitted, right?
Right.
Have permits behind them.
So all I want to say is I think a seller, like, fine, they can be like, I'm not sure. And you try and say to them, well, this is part of your value as a listing. Like, they still think they're going to either get the same offer, the same price, the same whatever, when there's just one more question mark, possibly with the house. You know, I don't know.
I don't know. I just think there's a lot of real estate that's being sold that is either purchased as is, where is. Like, you think of all the foreclosures out there that are being purchased.
Yeah,
you're
that's
not getting an RPR.
That's a foreclosure, and that's
right?
a different beast. And so, but I just think 5 years ago, Michelle, when you started,
yep.
Like, not that you've been in the business 20 years, because we would never say that, but when you started,
I know,
like, RPR, like, it was, I don't even know, title insurance, we didn't even, like, use that.
So for me, it's like doesn't matter which way you slice it, they're scams.
Oh,
insurance
you just don't like,
yeah. Well, and it's a scam, like.
Yeah, you're getting scammed one way or the other, everyone. That's just, let's call it a day.
Yeah.
How do you want to be scammed? Kind of the, like, city scam or the insurance scam? Because insurance is greasier, but it's cheaper.
but it's cheaper.
Yeah, like, it's kind of, do you want the classy scam or, yeah.
But that's just getting into my, like, personal values, right? Like,
yeah. Michelle also has beef with land titles, which, did I hear that they're changing that system?
Oh my God.
I kind of forgot, but as soon as I
didn't hear anything.
Yeah. No, I can't remember what it was. Either it's going to be more available or less available. I can't remember. I don't know.
See, and the other thing too is, like, sometimes just having gone through the whole process of getting permits with the city to build stuff, it's a nuisance.
Well, this is why.
And then you just get a non-conforming. It's like, just build what you want. We'll deal with it when we
set fire to it, and insurance will handle it.
Well, no, like, just like. Honestly, we just ended up building what we needed to build, because every time, like, they were doing it correctly, I had to, like, correct them on the math.
The city is exhausting in that respect. It's a process. Like, there's actually companies that will handle that for you, like Permit Pro, or I've sent clients to that where it's like, you know what? I, like, do not want to kind of get involved in this. Like, they're going to be able, like, it's a bit of a
certainly now with
intricate
the new
experience
with the new zoning bylaws, like,
oh God,
right?
But are we retracting some of that a bit? Like, I can't because we talked whatever.
No, well, there used to be this thing where you couldn't cover. You had to have X amount of green space, right? Like, I think it's. I can't even remember if it's 30% or 40%.
It's a percentage of the size of the lot.
Yeah. And now you have homes that are covering the whole lot.
Yeah.
Right? So green space be damned.
Yeah. Green what?
So, yeah. So maybe we should have another, you know, how you have, like, drive until you qualify. Like, build whatever you want and then just wait for the bylaws to catch up with you.
The thing is, I guess, okay, so it's interesting because I think you're upset for some moral standings on but to me, it's
like, I get it as a homeowner and as a realtor.
Yeah, but to me, it's the integrity of the property. If you can show that I know the city is a nuisance. I know a lot of this stuff is a scam. But if you can be like, hey, here's my property. Hey, everything is as it should be. Like, that is valuable, I think. You know, and it's just, so here's the thing.
Sometimes I think it's bringing up stuff that, like,
I know, let a sleeping dog lie. Yeah. And that I agree.
I don't like friction getting in the way of my deals, right?
I know. Well, God, like, that is even another topic, because I sometimes think, and maybe we've touched on this, like, there are agents that love to get in the way of a deal like nobody's business. Like, you know, like, they have to go 5 rounds on a GFI outlet and stuff, and it's like, really? Is this what you, like, I don't know what they're, like, they have this, like, need to prove, or I don't know what it is. So that's a little exhausting, but that's a whole other topic. But,
yes.
I mean, I guess it's just interesting because for sure right now, title insurance is the norm, but let's say, I mean, I think if anything, I don't know what the word I want, government is, they're certainly, you know, putting more and more restrictions on things as time goes on and more rules and what have you. So, like, do I think that, like, selling or in real estate in 10, 20, 50 years, like, it's going to be more lax? No. Like, it's only gotten where they're more, like, things were pretty, like, loosey-goosey even, like, back when we started. Like, you know what I mean?
Well,
like,
and that's what I'm talking about.
Development permits? Like, now it's, like, a big deal, right? But it's, like, but... So,
and an RPR doesn't even check that, really.
No, and so that's the thing too. Sometimes people, I'm like, has nothing to do with the permitting inside your house. It's just
although
the structure.
That's just as important.
It is, and then that's a whole other fish to fry, right? So, but I just kind of think right now we're super liberal with the title insurance, and what if the market turns and things aren't quite like? I'm just saying, I could see where this comes to bite a lot of people in the butt, like maybe down the road or enough, like, yeah, so.
I think you'll be waiting a long time.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope so. God, like, yeah, you better not be calling me in 2 weeks and being like, Gillian. No, but it's, I mean, I hope you're right. I hope so. But I just kind of think, like, title insurance is insurance. It's not like, here's the money. There has to be a claim made. They have to find it of merit. They have to... You can't have known about the problem. So if a seller's just like, oh, well, this isn't permitted and that wasn't, like, done right and this is too high or whatever, it's like, no, you're not covered for anything that's, like, a known issue.
See, I remember this time when it was the whole RPR that caused this huge amount of chaos right before we were getting ready to close the deal. And it was because of a retaining wall. Which looked gorgeous.
Yes, retaining walls. With RPRs. I love a good retaining wall, but with RPRs, yeah.
So it was on the city property, and then the buyers were raising a stink about it.
So, but why was this right before closing? Because I know that's what the contract says, but I always make sure we have it before we list.
Well, no, like, they had it, but it was brought to the lawyer's attention at that time.
Well, so I'm just wondering, because it's like either they signed off saying, hey, we're good to take this as it is. Here's a current RPR that doesn't comply, but we're agreeing with it. Like, to me, there's something that doesn't add up.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly the circumstances. I think the RPR did have it. Oh, I remember now. So we had ordered it, and we were waiting for it, but then it sold, right? Well, it didn't sell, but we got the offer, right? And then by the time we received it, by the time it got to the lawyer's attention, and they were pointing this out, and then all of a sudden, like, the buyers weren't okay with it, like, it became an issue.
Yeah, so that is another annoyance with RPRs with compliance. Like, you don't have to have them to list the home, but you need it for closing at the lawyers. So you can't just list it, get an offer, it goes firm, 6 weeks later you're closing, and the RPR comes in a week before that.
And it's like the city compliance. It's just like at that time they were taking forever.
Yeah, that's another thing. It's like it's what they're working on, and the city, they did have an awfully long time or have had awfully long wait periods at certain times for sure.
Yeah, well, the city works on a different timeline than the rest of the world.
It's we were talking about, like, kind of like island time when we got here, but they're on their own.
They're on their own time, right?
Yeah.
They don't have that sense of urgency.
What city time?
So, anyways, retaining wall's gone, right? Because that was the only way we were like, okay, well, let's just remove
but then they're like, oh, well, we bought it with like, you know what I mean? This is where things get sticky, but it's like, but if you had got title insurance and then in all honesty, your sellers probably didn't know, but then these buyers go to sell in 2 years and they get an RPR with compliance, and then they're all like, what? And then it's like, is title insurance really going to cover you? We'll see. You know, that's why I'm like, RPR with compliance, give it to me, people. It's what I want. It's what I provide, 9 times out of 10. Well, and anyways, and I do feel like if I think there's a listing I have coming up where I've talked to them about it, and I feel like they want to do title insurance, but it's like literally, it's a very new property. Like there's not a lot of like potential red flags, and I hate saying this, everybody's doing it. But that is the thing. And I'm just kind of like, am I part of the problem or part of the solution? And I just don't love like the character out there with this. Like everyone's just, I don't know, like put out a good product, people.
But I think a lot of it is like you still see the home that you're buying, right? You don't need to go
okay,
like
Gary.
Well,
That's our broker, her current broker, our OG broker, yeah.
Right? And let's not get in the way of people purchasing beautiful homes and making a mountain out of a molehill.
Here's the thing. So then you say, okay, guys, so in terms, we have to write in that we're accepting title insurance in lieu of the RPR with compliance. We're crossing out a clause in the purchase contract. Was it 10.2 or something? And they're like, oh, what's that? And then you have to like explain to them. And then in 5 years when you go to list it, and then all of a sudden everyone demands an RPR with compliance. I'm just saying.
It's not going to happen.
Okay. Well, you know what? It's not going to happen to you. And meanwhile, me over here doing the right thing, left, right, and center, I'm somehow going to get like...
You're making it happen.
I better just retire now. Oh my God. Anyway. Okay, so... I think in summation, RPR versus title insurance. It's
you be the judge. I think it's a personal decision everybody has to make for themselves.
Yes, I'll say it really is. Anyways, I do love that we often actually are a little divided on things. It's quite cute because I do think we do run parallel so much, but it is interesting that anyway, so that's what I think part of our charm is, folks. Anyway, you decide. As always, thank you so much for joining us.